Our guest Lalande Jackson is an inventor, explorer, teacher, activist, and leader in the software universe.
Yes, so we're going to really find out more about him.
But he's been on our show before, talking about the magic connection.
Yeah, that's very interesting. The Maggie, I listened to that show a couple of times myself.
Exactly. Oh, for sure, it's very interesting, and he's a deep researcher that specializes in these things, and we're glad to have him back on our show. And I think I'm gonna try and call him up. It's that time, I think, eh?
Yeah, we have a couple of minutes, but if he's ready, why not? I'll be ready.
Now, according to the intel that I've gotten, you know.
Okay, so call him up, bring him up. Let's dissect everything we can, because there's a lot to dissect tonight.
I know.
Right?
Let's go. Lalande.
Hey, Robert.
Oh, me and Mario welcome you to the MNR TV live show once again.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's great to be back.
Exactly. So tonight we got a lot of big subjects to talk about. Did you want us to play the video or mute it, or what is it you wanted us to do?
Yeah, I guess if you guys want to play the video, but you don't have to mute it because there's no talking in this video, so I'll be able to talk and explain while the video plays.
Okay.
And just if you want to tell me when you hit play on there so I can start explaining.
No, it's play.
Okay, there. Yeah, I can see it now too. Right, so basically what happened was I had to go to a city to visit to film a climate march. You know how that summit was going on in Paris and all that?
Yes.
So what I did is I filmed there and I wanted to get an inside story of what was happening at these rallies and to see what kind of issues are coming up to save the environment. And it was a couple of, First Nations people were helping us lead some sort of like a powwow circle where everyone got together and held hands. And it was almost something like goodwill towards man, like the peace sort of thing, right?
Okay, yeah.
And then all the issues that we had here too, where you had your basic ones were about global warming, they want that to stop. But there was even a couple of geoengineering guys there too about the contrails. But the overall theme that the natives were telling us at this rally is that there's going to have to be a plan coming soon. It's going to help not only the environment, but it's going to help the refugees. And they think this plan's coming soon, and they're actually optimistic that all the nations of the world are going to come together and get past this hard times. So it was a really inspiring rally. I don't know if anyone else is into this activism stuff, but man, going to these rallies and actually cheering with people and getting to meet other people that are into this stuff is really incredible.
Are these people aware of the New World Order?
Yeah, it's the funny thing is that I talked to a lot of people in the audience, and there was a couple of people that said they wouldn't even talk to the different natives that were there, and they were aware of it as well. But a lot of people weren't comfortable talking about it on the microphone.
I guess
so. It's one of those issues, I guess, that people are still afraid to talk about, right?
Yeah, they're not like us. We're used to it.
Yeah.
They're probably afraid of speaking about such things.
Yeah, and I noticed the one thing that was really missing from these rallies is everyone saying, hey, we should shut down all the coal plants and use nuclear instead. But I'm not a big proponent of using nuclear power, so I was a little bit disappointed there wasn't more people saying, hey, nuclear is not a good option either.
It's not at all.
Yeah, just like Mario was talking about how Fukushima is still leaking. And actually our government, if we don't find a solution for our energy crisis, they're actually going to start storing nuclear waste right next to the Great Lakes. Like pretty much on shore. And we've known the history of nuclear sites, they've always leaked. So it's pretty much now or never. If we don't come together, it's going to be bad news pretty quick.
And this could blow up, can it, near the lakes? Is there a chance that this could blow up and cause another meltdown?
Yeah, anything could happen really with those nuclear plants. Like you look at Fukushima, and then you look at, what was the one in Ukraine called Chernobyl, I think it was?
Yeah, Chernobyl.
It's like Chernobyl was a long time ago, and that land is still uninhabitable. So I don't know how these people getting off trying to say that nuclear power is somehow clean technology. It's not even close to clean. It's actually the dirtiest technology that exists.
And very dangerous too.
Yeah, I wonder too, like everyone says that the New World Order is going to try to push us to the breaking point, so we have to beg them for some sort of cure to help us with our problems. And what bigger problem could we have than radiation?
Radiation, terrorism, which they create.
Yeah. So that's the thing. A lot of these other issues that we face, there's obvious solutions that we could work out, but with nuclear radiation, there's nothing. Like, we can't even shoot into space, because if we do, it could blow up on the way and then rain down on us like a Russian probe did years ago.
And then you have a meltdown and people getting sick from radiation poisoning.
Yeah. So actually, when I was at this protest, there was one guy there that started yelling and screaming in the back, and he was trying to get the geoengineering word out there about contrails and stuff.
Okay.
But the crappy thing about it is he did it at like the point when everyone was trying to hear the speeches on stage. So him yelling in the back and the people on the stages, it didn't make a good combination, right?
I could imagine no one could have heard it, what he had to say.
No, and he came off kind of on the impression as being the crazy guy yelling in the back, and he was making the whole geoengineering movement look bad. And I felt bad for the other guys that were talking about contrails, because they were being real peaceful and they were willing to wait their turn to speak.
Maybe this guy was a government agent, still paid to do this.
I actually went and interviewed him. He's coming up here in the video.
Okay.
Coming up right after this point. Maybe I'll let him talk, but he seemed like one of the smartest guys I'd ever met. Like, every time I talked to him, his terminology was up to date. Yeah, here's a picture of him here. So to say he's a government agent trying to make it look bad and stuff, personally, I don't think he was, but
you never know.
Just the way everything happened, it almost made it seem like that.
The thing is, maybe he was blackmailed. Maybe he's not really doesn't really want to do this, but he was forced for some reason into doing this. They had him blackmailed. They said, "You go do this right now." Who knows? It's a theory.
Well, his issue on the chemtrails is actually different from mine. He was trying to say the idea of these chemtrails is to heat the Earth, and that he wants them to stop using them because he doesn't want a hotter Earth. And I was like, well, actually, when I looked into the chemtrails technology, it was the exact opposite of what he was saying. They were saying that it was being used to try to cool the Earth, and then this solar system-wide warming was getting so bad that it was the UN's last chance to try to save the Earth. So they didn't even bother asking everyone's permission. They just started spraying as a last resort.
But the thing is, I don't know about you, but in Montreal we have no snow, and it's December.
Yeah.
We're middle of December right now. In Canada, we have no snow. Not that I'm complaining, but it's just odd.
Yeah, I actually shovel snow a lot for money in the winter, so this winter is hitting me kind of hard. No, it almost seems like a coincidence again, right? Like, they have this climate summit coming up.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it got really hot. And in previous winters, it's been the coldest ever on record.
Like last
so
winter.
It's like just in time.
Last winter was terrible. It was really, really cold. Starting in November, it was freezing till April.
Yeah.
And now...
I know. Yeah, last winter was so bad. I was actually kind of looking forward to a bit of global warming this year.
Exactly. So I'm not complaining that there's no snow, and especially cold. That's the worst.
Yeah. So what do you guys think? Maybe they turned off the chemtrails just temporarily so they would get hot again, maybe?
That, or we're thinking also that they had something to do with HARP.
Yeah.
You know, HARP, the weather modification machine. There's plus maybe CERN. We're thinking also, we have a theory that CERN may be involved in weather patterns also.
Yeah, the HARP technology too, right?
Yeah, the HARP technology, CERN, chemtrails. There's a lot of there's a lot of conspiracies that we think, but we can't actually prove of what's going on. But definitely there is something abnormal about this weather.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully the whole weather situation gets corrected soon. But I guess maybe the real main issue that I was so happy about this protest when I filmed it is that the Native Americans gave me a few clues on what their prophecy said, that how we were going to turn this whole thing around. And I was like, I didn't get to hear the entire speech just because that yelling and stuff went on in the background, and my camera didn't pick up everyone's voices the greatest and stuff. But okay. I think I got enough of the gist of what they were saying that I can break down what I think a good plan is. Maybe even the same plan that those natives think that it's going to turn this thing around.
Yeah, we'd love to hear this prophecy. So what should we go up to next?
Well, on let's see, I got the protest video done. Okay, the next link after the protest video is that EcoWatch one.
Yeah, we're on it now.
Okay, so this EcoWatch program is actually, I think, what the natives were hinting at is they think that we can actually turn this whole tide just by not destroying the environment anymore. And I was looking at this eco thing, and I was like, wow, this kind of technology is exactly what we need to fix the problem that we're facing right now.
So it's solar-powered farm.
Yeah, and basically what it shows in the picture is it's got on this website is that it's actually become more affordable, that we can really do an off-grid setup, and it's not going to cost millions of dollars per unit to build these off-grid farms. This website basically shows that there's a cheap alternative that they're starting to use is these shipping crates. And then we got wind generators, we got solar generators, and even solar technology's come so far in the past few years. Like the panels that I bought this year were about 10 times stronger than the panels I bought a couple of years ago.
Solar energy.
Yeah, so it's no longer some sort of myth or some Jetsons type technology that we're trying to acquire here. It's like this technology exists. We can start building these off-grid farms right now. We don't have to wait for something. And I think that's what this protest was going at, is if we manage to pull this type of move in our society off, it's going to be big. And I guess we'll go on to the next website, or did you guys look over this whole one yet?
Okay, yeah. Why is there going to be Wi-Fi in it?
Yeah, that's the thing. We're not going to have to live like savages in these things. It's like some people think of off-grid stuff, and actually the Rothschilds made an off-grid movie, and they portrayed everyone as being like hicks that are eating squirrels, and like sitting around watching a campfire 24 hours a day because they don't have any electricity and stuff. But no, these off-grid these farms that we're looking at, they're going to be souped up to the max, pretty much. Like, we're going to have satellite TV in these things. We're going to have satellite internet. It's like you're going to be living like the Jetsons. It's not like the Rothschilds are trying to make it out like.
Are we going to have flying cars?
No, I don't think quite the flying cars yet.
At least not yet, no.
Yeah, flying cars would be pretty sick. Yeah, then I guess if we can go on to the next one, there's another technology that's came out in Canada called hempcrete.
Okay.
Have you guys heard about this new type of concrete?
No, I haven't. Have you, Mario?
No, not at all.
All right, so basically what it is they've started making this new type of concrete that's super strong, and they're bonding it with hemp. So it's like if Justin Trudeau, now that he's changing some of the laws in Canada, maybe we can even get more hemp farms going. Because I'm pretty sure right now in Canada, we have a very minimal amount of hemp being grown. And the funny thing about this hempcrete is it's so strong that one of the most famous constructions in history is made from it is, what are they called, the Roman aqueducts.
Okay.
Yeah, and those aqueducts were still good today. So it goes to show you how long this hempcrete can last for.
Wow.
You can just imagine if we start building these off-grid community farms out of these hempcrete blocks, not only is it going to be good for the environment, but it's going to be nearly indestructible.
But in order to do this, we have to defeat the Rothschilds and the Illuminati.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. There's definitely a lot of things holding us back at this point. One of our things holding us back is our dependency on a lot of this stuff, city life, and constantly consuming too many resources. Like, I'm kind of hoping in the future with this off-grid movement that people start making new technologies. Like if we start all investing in stuff that uses less power, like OLED TVs, they use way less power than LED TVs. So you can see our technology could go and turn the tide, or we start using less power instead of more.
Have you heard of Li-Fi technology, Li-Fi internet instead of Wi-Fi?
Yeah, that's actually a great point that you brought up. It was an update that I talked about. I was going to bring up on the slide. I wasn't sure if we'd have time. But there's a new type of internet that came out in light. And I was thinking, geez, that's exactly what I talked about on the show last time, is that these stars provide the light that has the internet in it. And this is the actual new internet that just came out a couple of weeks ago. I posted the link actually on Conspiracy Talk if anyone wants to go back in the archive and look at it.
Yeah, I've seen it. So what are your thoughts? When is this going to come out, this Li-Fi?
Well, that's the thing. I think the closer we keep getting with this light technology, we're going to make this light internet. And when we start connecting into it, we're going to be like, hey, there was another light internet around the whole time that we didn't know about. So maybe we're going to connect into the universal internet once we have this light technology perfected.
I think that would be that would begin the whole new world order.
Yeah, the universal internet.
Yeah, the whole mind, the one like the beast system.
Yeah, like I wonder once we connect to this universal internet, is it going to settle all the debates on the world, or is it going to make them worse? Like, if everyone finds out what the true God is from this universal internet, are they going to buy it or think that this internet is also fake?
I think,
like, who knows?
don't forget they want one mind, one mind, one man, one religion, one system, one world order. So
yeah.
I think one day they're gonna plug in the internet into us.
Yeah,
in our brain.
Or we already are the internet, right?
Well, I sometimes wonder if Google is not alive, if it's not alive itself, a living entity. Google, self awareness.
Yeah, it's one of the things I looked at too. Is the human body is the closest thing we have to the most powerful computer that exists. So maybe our bodies are being used to render an internet as well. Sort of like the Matrix movies, all those guys were in battery packs or whatever when they saw what the Matrix really was.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm thinking that's where we're going here, is that we're actually, our bodies are being used as a biological internet. We're all just a bunch of hard drives walking around while these entities are using us to render a better environment for them to live in.
I'll take you even one step crazier, is that that we're living in a holographic universe.
Yeah.
And
you wouldn't believe the Magi has a whole thing about the holographic universe.
Yeah, you should tell us, like, or like there's just some people outside the universe, and this is all holographic. It's all a matrix that we're living in.
Yeah, well, even the Bible is just loaded with that material too. If you look at Genesis, we see the Earth was created in 7 days, or the entire universe.
Yeah.
And physically, that is impossible with science. But if you wanted to actually render, say, a simulation in 7 days, that's possible. And then you look at the 7th day of the week, the Sabbath or whatever, how everyone's supposed to rest. That's actually a common theme in video games as well. If you have a massive universe that's being simulated, usually once a week or even once a month, they got to shut it down for maintenance. So they want less people to do stuff, just like the Sabbath.
Except we never, us humans, work 7 days a week. Everything's open nowadays, 7 days.
Yeah, maybe that's why our simulation's looking so degraded, is because we're not resting enough.
I think the whole computer program simulation is the one big virus in it.
Yeah, there's definitely some cleaning up to do.
Exactly.
Maybe we can find an antivirus program, right?
Exactly, an antivirus.
If you guys want to go into the next slide.
Yeah,
it's like Justin Trudeau talking about some of the stuff that he's been doing recently.
Yeah. Justin Trudeau takes a first step towards marijuana legalization in Canada.
Yeah, and this actually kind of ties into my invention as well. As I voted for Justin Trudeau as well, because I think that cannabis technology is going to be big. Like there's a guy named Rick Simpson. I don't know if you've heard of him. Oh yeah, you guys posted a link.
Yeah, of course, yes.
So he does some work with cannabis oils, and he says that it can cure cancer. But technically, I don't know if cannabis or oil can cure cancer. I'm skeptical that it can, but in a way, I hope that he's right?
Well, of course, obviously, yes.
Yeah. So that's actually what my invention is going to be doing when it comes out in probably early next year. Is that my invention collects the most potent form of cannabis oil ever created. So when this invention comes out, I don't know if Rick Simpson's going to try it. Maybe I should get him my invention so that he can do some experimenting and see if it is true that this stuff is going to be able to work towards making people healthier. And then this Justin Trudeau thing too is a lot of people, if we set up some sort of movement where everyone goes to live off the grid, we're not going to have any jobs of living off the grid unless we start using something like this. Like Justin Trudeau was saying at this environmental summit that he wants a new plan to help the environment, and he's going to donate tons of money from Canada to do it. But I don't really want to see them build projects in some sort of downtown city and have it all go to hell, right? I'd much rather see them invest this money into an off-grid program so that people that are either refugees that need housing can use it, or if people are, say, homeless, they could have access to it, or if there's veterans that need housing, that they could have access to it, or say if there's even students, like a lot of students are getting killed with student loans these days, right?
Right, exactly.
Can you imagine if you were a student and they give you an option, they're like, hey, instead of getting this huge debt, would you rather use your student loan money to have an off-grid cabin? It's fully sustainable. You'll never have to pay bills again. And then you could grow your own weed, sell it back to the government, and have that as your full-time job. sounds like some sort of crazy idea.
It does, but it sounds better than the options we have now with credit card debt and all kinds of stuff like that.
If you compare that lifestyle with the lifestyle that we currently have, it would be paradise in comparison. So, like, I don't know, Justin, if he thinks that legalizing weed is going to help boost our economy, this is one of the ways that we could use it. Like, you don't have to use it for drugs. You could use it just for medical reasons too, right? But I'm actually not into people using weed for drugs. I prefer people when they use it for medical reasons.
Exactly, but I'm sure the criminal elements don't want the legalization of marijuana.
Yeah, see, right now the criminals are the ones growing it, and they get all the money. Wouldn't you rather have some off-grid student being able to grow it and getting an actual life and some money instead of being in debt for the rest of his life?
As long as he uses it for good purposes, not evil.
Yeah, so if you want to go to the next slide, here we got Justin Trudeau, our next website, talking about the climate change thing.
Yeah, Canada's back, says Trudeau in Paris. We're here to help.
See, I think we're extremely lucky that Harper didn't re-win the election. Because if I came with this plan to Harper, you can imagine it would never even get to his desk. But Justin Trudeau is actually going for the liberal values. And this plan actually has a lot of the spoke points of what being liberal is all about, right?
Right.
Like they're supposed to be not conservative, right?
That's right, yeah, exactly.
So that's the thing, when we come up with this off-grid plan, I don't think we're going to be able to just protest and force Justin Trudeau to do it. If anything, we should go about this by saying, hey, we support Justin Trudeau and we support liberal ideas, and this is the best liberal idea that we think should be supported. It's like if we work with him instead of against him, I think this could really go our way. And if we tried to do this with Harper, we wouldn't stand a chance.
At least with Trudeau, we have a chance. He might listen.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. A lot of people have given Trudeau a bad name, and they're saying, oh, he's just another Illuminati puppet and stuff. But I actually got a chance to meet Trudeau on one of the old jobs that I worked at, or talk to some of his friends that knew him. They said that, yeah, he could be involved with some of this stuff where he's going to be like blackmailed by the big companies to do whatever he says. But in a way, Trudeau is also going to listen to the public. Like, if he has a crowd of supporters cheering for him and asking for something, he's not going to turn his head like Harper would. He's actually going to listen.
So, would you be thinking that Justin Trudeau could be our JFK?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at this point too. Is that like maybe he is our next JFK, and he can't just come out and say everything right away, or they're going to do the same thing they did to JFK.
Yeah, exactly.
So we got to support him and be like, hey, this is some good stuff that we want you to do, and we're going to support you doing it. And then if he has enough people backing him, then it doesn't matter. The Illuminati can't just take him out because we're backing him up. If they try to take him out, we'll just replace him with someone else who also supports their ideas, and the Illuminati will see that. We can't just leave them out on the line here.
No.
Like, who knows? Maybe if more people would have supported what JFK was doing, that would have never happened.
Well, back then, we didn't have the internet, you know? I mean, when JFK came out with his Secret Society speech, that blew my mind. Wow. I wasn't alive back then, but when I researched it and I heard it, I'm like, wow. The only president to ever talk about it. I wouldn't see President Obama do this right now.
Yeah, he was just a little bit ahead of his time, it seems. Like, if he would have been a few generations later and had the internet backing him, then we would have been able to back him up. Can you imagine how many conspiracy theorists would have backed him up when he came out with that speech?
Exactly.
Yeah, it would have been incredible. But who knows, maybe this is the next one. Like, we can't let this Justin Trudeau thing get wasted. While he's in office, we're going to have to get him to help us.
Exactly.
It's our best chance we've ever had, really.
I agree with you. It is.
So if you want to go into the last link that I got here, Justin vows to help the refugees.
Yeah, first plane load of Syrian refugees land on Canadian soil.
Now, there's a lot of issues that are coming up with this refugee problem, and I don't want to be too offensive about it, but just so everyone knows, is my family actually came to Canada pretty much the same circumstances.
Which country?
My grandfather that lived in Ukraine was actually sentenced to death, and he escaped to Canada. So I can sympathize slightly, I guess, with what these refugees must be going through in the same situation, right?
Exactly.
But at the same time, like, there's a lot of problems that people in our cities are voicing, and a lot of them are valid. Like, there's not a lot of jobs in our city here. So if we're taking these new refugees and putting them in a city, they're going to be stuck with no jobs. The same situation we got. And then our healthcare system is already overburdened. We got like 12-hour wait times. And if we got a whole ton of new people coming in that are really sick, can you imagine what that's going to do to our city?
That's in a double time.
Yeah, and then you got the homeless people that are voicing concerns too. They're like, hey, we've been homeless on your guys' streets for how long? And how come you're all of a sudden helping these refugees and leaving us out on the street? Right?
I don't find that fair at all.
No. And then there's some veterans that are needing help and they feel like they're being left out. The students are feeling like they're left out. And then there's a lot of people in Canada too that aren't really a fan of Sharia law. And if we start getting a whole bunch of people that are living in our city that support it, guess what? We vote for our laws, right?
Exactly.
Well, at the same time, I don't want to leave these refugees hanging, right? Like, we got to give them somewhere to go. And if it's not going to work in our city, maybe we could offer a new solution from Canada. That's what I was thinking. These off-grid places should be built up north. Like, I don't think we should be building and setting all these refugees up in Canada right in the busiest cities. It's just a recipe for disaster.
And don't forget that they're saying that some of these refugees could be part of ISIS.
Yeah. Well, that's always a possibility. It doesn't have to be Muslims either. Like, there's extremists in every religion. It's not just going to be Muslims. There's going to be Christian extremists too. So we're not just trying to single them out and say that. But at the same time, we know that there is extremists in every religion, right?
Exactly. You know, and some intel I got said that ISIS is happy about the refugees because they said a lot of them, they're part of it. I don't know if it's propaganda or what, but I hope they're really well screened before they come into Canada.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to say like how good the screening really is, but hopefully, yeah, most of the people that are going to be coming over are just going to be like my grandpa trying to escape a war and find a place to raise a family, right? So basically what my plan that I got here is like took all those refugee problems that we're facing and tried to turn them into positives so we can get this plan to resolve, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's a very good idea.
Yeah, so if we can take this plan and set it up so that instead of building all these places for refugees and all of our money going to support these refugees is being wasted in projects downtown that are just going to be destroyed. Like, we've seen what happens to a lot of projects. Everyone knows what they're really like, right?
Oh, yeah.
So what maybe the solution here is we build these off-grid places up north. They've got the space up there, and it would offer them a full-time job. Like, living off the grid, a lot of people think it's easy, but it's not paradise. Well, I guess it's partly paradise, but it comes with a lot of work too. Like, you're going to have to grow your own food. You're going to have to harvest your own food. You're going to have to be cooking your own food, maybe even hunting yourself, gardening, all this sort of thing. So it's not like these people that are going to be going to live off the grid aren't going to be having jobs. Not to mention if Justin lets people grow hemp or even weed on his properties, then they're going to have a huge income coming. They can sell it back to the government. The government can distribute it to different medical centers, right? Sorry?
No, I would imagine it'd be harder to do these things in winter.
Yeah.
For the refugees that aren't used to our Canadian winters.
Yeah, it's funny. I did a lot of research into off-gridding technology, and it is freaking amazing some of the stuff they can do now. Like, if we had to grow, say, hemp in the winter for these refugees far up north, they could still do it even without using too much power for heat. Because a lot of the off-grid technology places have started to invent composting heaters. I don't know if you've ever heard of one of those.
Yeah, I've heard of it, yes.
It's basically the same thing as a wood stove, but instead of burning the wood, you're putting it in compost, and the compost creates heat for months instead of just a few hours. And then that compost pile heats water, and then that water goes into the rads in your house and warms it. So basically, you can take all your waste from your compost and use it to heat your house, your greenhouses. It doesn't have to be like a winter wasteland. You can actually make it into a paradise with the technology we have.
Wow. Is there another picture that you wanted us to show?
I think that's pretty much it for pictures, unless you guys want to go over my Twitch page a bit. But I'll just go over some of the stuff that I got.
No, there's something that says solidarity.
What's that, sir?
You sent something on solidarity. A picture.
Solidarity.
Yeah, maybe I got it somewhere here in my notes and I forgot about that one. But
yeah, we have it up. We have it up on screen for you to see.
Okay, I'll bring that up right now.
Free education.
Oh, the free school. Yeah. Let me check here. Yo, solidarity, yeah. That's actually the class that I was teaching with in London. I forgot that that's one of the posters that they got there. Yeah, so when I was teaching this class in London, they said that they're all into protesting, and if there's any good ideas that people have, that they're willing to help back someone up for it. So I figured I'm going to put this plan together and discuss it on your show. And I actually got a data stick here. One of the representatives of the Environmental Commissioner of Ontario gave me all the forms I need to actually put this plan into action. So I'm going to talk about it with the free school, see if they can help me get the forms filled out. Maybe we can get this off-grid program going.
Exactly. Oh, I love that idea for sure. Solidarity, free education. And
yeah,
living off the grid.
Really cool. Like they hold different classes of all types. If you wanted to go there and learn about art or something, they have classes for that. Or they even have classes on the occult information, learning about the Illuminati and stuff like that. So it's a pretty good. They even let me talk about the Magi for the whole class. So it's a really cool school.
You mean there's a school that talks about the Illuminati?
Well, call it an official school. It's more of like a place downtown. It's not like a university type school.
Right.
It's sort of like a building that you could go to if you weren't rich to go to university sort of thing.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's not your typical school of what you might think of, like a professor talking in front of like a lecture hall of thousands of people.
Okay.
Well, it's a little bit different from your regular type of school, but I think it was one of the funnest schools I've ever been to. The material, the students, just the environment is incredible. Yeah, I'd just like to give maybe a shout out to one of my new friends that I met at the school is also named Robert. If he's listening, I'll just give a shout out to him.
Exactly, and for this show, make sure that it goes. Let's make it go viral. Let's share it.
Yeah, well, there's a few other problems here that this plan will fix. Like, I don't know if you heard about what China does for their healthcare.
Please do enlighten us.
Yeah, see, China's got the problem where they had so many people, they couldn't afford to give everyone health care. So what they did, instead of doing what we do and just cure symptoms or treat symptoms, I should say, the Chinese government set up some healthy living to actually prevent disease from happening in the first place. So I think what this is off-grid living could do is, like, if people are eating their own foods that they grow, they're getting more exercise from gardening, they're not going to be as sick and diseased as they would be living in a city, just sitting at a desk all day, being in debt all the time and depressed. Right?
Sounds like me, being sick and depressed and being in debt.
It's the American dream, I guess.
Oh yeah, and all they do is to give you pills that treat the symptoms, but you still have the sickness.
Yeah, so this solution here offers not only a plan for the refugees, but really for everyone. It's like, I was thinking, yeah, my next point here too is that we shouldn't be opening these new off-grid facilities just for the refugees. We got to make it available to students. They need it really bad. We got to make it available to the veterans. They need it really bad. Who else was needing this? Veterans. The homeless, too. It's like, man, if we could offer a homeless person an off-grid cabin to live in the rest of his life, you think he would take it? I don't know. Yeah, and then another thing, too, is when we do the solution up north, it's going to offer us the chance to save our culture. It's like a lot of people are complaining too, is if we bring in too many people that don't speak English, eventually we're going to be surrounded in a city where no one speaks English. Right?
It'll be a different total society. It won't be Canadian anymore.
Yeah, but even with Quebec and Canada, they found a solution with that as well, right? Like, not everyone speaks English in this country, but we didn't try to blend everyone. We just actually separated it and lived in harmony, right?
Exactly. Well, I don't know if it's in harmony now, because here in Quebec, especially Montreal, there's a lot of French versus English.
Yeah, there is still a little bit of that, but can you imagine if we all had to live in the same city, if it would be worse or better? I don't know.
And I think it would be worse if we all had everybody in the same place. It'd be catastrophic.
Yeah, at least this way there's a little bit of disagreement, but we still manage to get by, right?
Exactly.
And each culture's happy. Like, we still got people speaking French, we still got people speaking English, and no one had to stay as a refugee anywhere. It's like, there's lots of options here.
There is. Exactly.
And then what was I thinking too? Oh yeah, and then for single men, like, a lot of stuff that's been going on with the crisis right now is hitting single men the worst. It's like, it's really hard these days to get a job, make enough money to support a family, get a wife. All that stuff is being denied to a lot of single guys these days.
And why do you think that is?
Well, there's the agenda. People say that they're trying to break down the family unit, and that if people are gay, they can actually tax both people that are living in the household, rather than if there was a mother then working at home, they can only tax one person. So I don't know if it is really just a tax issue and a money issue, or it is some sort of satanic agenda. But I kind of think it's just the latter.
Somebody's saying that the initial cost of the equipment for living off grid must be high. All the solar panels, electronic batteries are toxic.
Yeah, see, there's another few issues that we still have with the off-grid technology. A lot of people put the solar panels right on top of their roofs, right under where they were sleeping or above, and there was some bad radiation coming from the panels. So what a new solution people are doing is they're putting the panels on their sheds so that you don't have it directly above your house. And the initial cost for setting it up a grid cabin used to be around $5,000. But the thing is, sure, it's expensive, but you compare it to the places that we're living at in the city, it's like a house in Toronto is costing $1 million now, right?
Yeah, you can't buy one.
Yeah, so the cost of, say, a $5,000, $10,000 off-grid cabin compared to $1 million house, you're going to be in debt for the rest of your life. I think, and plus, too, the government's going to be throwing billions at these refugees. So it's like, if we're going to be using this money for refugees, let's use it for something good, right? Like, let's not build projects, let's build off-grid communities. And not even force the refugees either, like, give them the choice. Like, say, hey, do you want to get a job here in the city and work in a desk and be in debt for the rest of your life, or do you want to go and have your own land? Like, you don't have to give each home off-grid place 100 acres. You can get by on just 1 acre.
Exactly, for sure. I mean, people are in debt, and you know, and with the global economy looming, like there might be a collapse. People will be living off grid anyhow.
Yeah, and just to finish up quick, because I know we're running close on time here.
Yeah, we are.
When I was doing my exploring up north to find the Magi connections, I hired a private plane and flew over a huge chunk of the northern Ontario.
Okay.
And I don't know if people realize, but Canada is almost 99.999% all unexplored forest. We only have cities and small little patches. Like Toronto is like almost practically in the States, and then the rest of the province is just empty forest. So it's not like we don't have enough room to set up these off-grid communities.
I know.
And then the other thing too is a lot of the cities that are out there up north experienced a 50% drop in population in the past 10 years, and they're dying to get more citizens. So why are we shipping people to projects in Toronto when we have all this opportunity up north? It doesn't seem to make sense not to use this to our advantage. And plus, there's a large train system that used to take passengers from Toronto to up north, and that train was cheap and it was effective, and it got shut down because there wasn't enough people using it. So if all these people move to off-grid cabins, they don't have to be isolated. They could take a train back and forth to Toronto once a week, once a month. It's the utilities are already built there. We don't have to build a new train to do it. It's like it's almost been set up and ready to go for us. They're just waiting for us to take advantage of it.
Hopefully this plan of yours and everybody can actually come into motion. That would be wonderful, and hopefully we can get Justin Trudeau. Maybe Justin Trudeau could watch this show of ours, and this amazing topic, and it'll inspire him.
Well, you just wait and see. Like, once we get this thing written up, and I get some protesters to help me, and we'll get this on Justin Trudeau's desk. And I'll be surprised if he doesn't agree with it, because he's a liberal. This is a liberal plan.
Exactly, for sure.
And that's the biggest thing here, too, is we can use this plan to break the Illuminati. Like, they have a pretty powerful force. And when it comes to fighting a war, usually do you fight it head on, or do you usually break the supply chain? So, like, I think if we break the supply chain of the Illuminati, we're going to be a lot better off than if we try to face them head on. And how does this off-grid plan break the supply chain? It's like we get less people in debt, we get less stress, no sick people, no need for the GMOs, no need for oil and energy, which is probably going to be the main reason a lot of these refugees were created in the first place. So if we can actually start this off-grid program, we might break the cycle, break the supply chain. The Illuminati won't have as much control anymore because they'll have lost all their power.
Yeah, exactly. I love this plan, but time will tell.
It's a really ambitious plan, and
I know.
I'm confident we can pull it off.
Exactly. I agree with you, and let's hope that this plan can work,
Yeah, so when I get the draft made up from this, maybe I'll post it on your guys' site so that anyone who's interested in it can help out, maybe sign up to something, or maybe we'll get some sort of one of those, what are they called, the protest things where people sign up.
Yeah, petitions.
Oh, petitions, yeah. Maybe we can get some petitions going. And in the meantime, I'll be working on those papers and get them on Justin Trudeau's desk. And who knows, maybe with all this too, we can stop our need for nuclear. We won't need coal plants. And maybe we'll actually end all the profit in wars. Because if there's no profit in war, how many people are going to want it anymore?
I know, no one will.
Yeah, because right now people say they don't want war, but then a lot of people work in ammunition factories, right? So it's like, do we really want the war or don't we? It's so profitable, it's hard for a lot of people to turn it away.
Just like Big Pharma's profitable, and cancer, and all the rest of the illnesses.
This plan is amazing. It could stop the supply chain for the Illuminati, it could make us healthier, we don't have to eat GMOs, and heck, we could even start collecting our own water, so we don't have to drink fluoride all the time.
That'd be wonderful, my friend.
Yeah, it's kind of like what was I saying earlier? The Amish on steroids is what it is, this plan. Right?
I like that. The Amish on steroids. We'll have all the advantages, no bills, and all this amazing technology where we get all our food and stuff and not have to deal with the downside of the Amish lifestyle of not having technology to aid you. Exactly. So we'll take what works from both and hybridize it into a good plan. Well, time will tell, my friend, but we've got to end the show.
Yeah, thanks a million for helping me get this plan out here. I know that we went a little bit over the time.
Oh, it's okay. Well, we want to thank you for coming on our show, right, Mario?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, this is just amazing, you know. And we've got to make this show go viral, folks. So share the show and let's see what Lalanne's plan can do.
Yeah, this plan could help the refugees and it could help everyone at the same time. It's like you don't have to pick one side or the other for this plan.
Definitely. Well, all right, Lalanne, we'd like to thank you for coming on our show.
All right, thanks a million, you guys.
And you'll come back very soon, and that's it. So we want to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Oh yeah, Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays, I should say, not Merry Christmas. Whatever people celebrate these days, it's all different. But that's it. So thanks, and have a great night.
Thanks, you too. Talk to you guys later.
Definitely. Bye. Well, Mario.
Yes, lots of info.
Lots of info, a lot of information, and maybe just maybe a plan to defeat the New World Order and make things right again. At least it's worth a shot. Definitely, I agree.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts, Mario?
No, that's it. There's nothing else for me. There's a lot of information.
There's a lot of information, yes. And we'll be back January 13th, folks. Have happy holidays, safe holidays, be well, and God bless you all. Thank you very much.
Well, 13, but who knows? Before or late, who knows? We'll try and be.
We'll be back on the 13th, yeah.
Around that time. We'll let you know. Just keep looking at our
blogs
and that. All right, so we're out of here. Thank you very much for watching. Right, you people are the best.
Love you guys.
Thank you very much. You're the best. We'll be back. We will be back. All right.
2016.
Yes, 2016. Another great year. Lots of promises. All right. Good night. Bye.